Just adjust the camera a little bit. I do this every single live stream. I really need to make this more of a permanent thing for the live streams. But yes, we are live. Today is Sunday, August 18th. So we're about halfway through the month. And yeah, I guess I'll say this as I say in every, I believe in every single live stream that I do now. But if it is your first time joining a live stream, welcome to the channel. I really do appreciate you stopping in. Every single Sunday or most Sundays, I do a live stream here on the channel. And we just kind of talk about movies. I first kind of talk about things that I've watched during the week and any other topics that come up. So if you are tuning in to the live stream for the first time, welcome. And if you are watching this on the playback, which is like recorded and put back onto YouTube, feel free to leave any comments or questions or anything that is talked about. Please just comments down below and I will get back to you. And I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. So I hope everybody out there is doing fantastic. Let me know if it sounds and looks good on your end. It usually does, but sometimes the audio does not work in my favor. But um, yeah, I hope everybody out there is doing fantastic today. Um, I have a good stack of films that I want to talk about and some other fun things that I'm going to be doing slightly different in this live stream. So this is the first live stream that I will be doing this one thing with. So stay tuned for a fun little, I guess not announcement, but a fun little like piece of the live stream that I've never done before on a live stream. So, um, but without I guess let's see. Sounds good. Looks good. Sweet. Thank you, Benny. Thank you. I appreciate it. So yes. Let's see. I was super disappointed in Opera. Was really weird, and the chase scenes with the rock music were awful. On to Inferno Next. Hope that DVD was worth it. Yes, I hope. I forget. If you said if opera was your introduction to Dario Argento or not. I completely forget. I know you were talking about getting the opera DVD and you were excited to check it out. But I can't remember if that was your first Dario Argento film. One kind of staple of Argento is kind of like having rock music in points where it doesn't necessarily make sense. Um, he is an Italian director, so it does have Italian like things sprinkled in. So sometimes a staple with Italian films, a lot of the time they filmed the entire movie without sound, and then they went back and dubbed the entire movie. So that's like one strange thing with Italian films, but also with opera and Argento, and specifically um, the films that actually I'm about to talk about. He does this a lot too with like rock music, where rock music doesn't necessarily fit. So um, yeah, I understand where you're coming from with the with it seeming weird. Um but yeah, Argento is definitely I'd say the more Argento films you watch, the kind of like you understand his style and you kind of start to accept kind of those weird quirky things that he might do. So I guess I'll just jump into the films that I actually watched this week. The first one being an Argento film. And this is a great example of a film that uses music in a very strange way. And that being the movie Phenomenon. So if you watch my other videos in my on my channel, you'll know that this is a movie that I recently picked up, and I am. Let's see. The first hour of opera was just pointless and just make no sense. And Suspiria was my first movie by him, and I love it. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Um, yeah, I need to revisit opera. It's been several years since I've seen it, but I will say, like, from what I remember, I really liked it. It also it depends on what cut of the film. I know there was several different cuts of the movie that were put out there, but um, Phenomena, an Argento film. This movie, I absolutely loved this movie. This was my first experience with a Synapse 4K title, and so this is a 4K. Within it, it comes with the film, a poster, and a booklet. This is the limited edition, collector's edition, or I think it's just limited edition, which have the you know little fly up there, and the bottom is black. But yes, this is a fantastic film. I really, really enjoyed this movie. The music in it, it has like this rock music, or like upbeat music that I've been listening to the soundtrack. It's put out by Goblin, the band Goblin, which is they did the same music for Suspiria. I've been listening to the soundtrack to this movie all week, and it's been just absolutely fun. It's a blast. Um, and yeah, it was it just kind of like things just kept happening in this movie, and I was like, that's fantastic. But the Synapse 4K transfer of this movie is just outstanding. It is um, phenomenal, if you will, which is close enough to the title. But it is just it's a great transfer. It looks beautiful. And overall, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I would highly recommend checking it out, especially if you are a fan of Argento. Um, yeah, I would highly recommend checking that one out. That was I should say that I didn't do a live stream last week. I guess I should have introed with this, but um, so last week that I watched that on the 6th of the month. Um, and so I also watched, um, let's see. So coming up on the 8th of the month, um, let's see, let's see. See, do you have Smallville till TV series? I do not, but my one friend was really into the Smallville series, and he has like a big box set of all of them. But I've never gotten into it. But hi, Ralph here. Told you opera was awful. Yeah, I feel like it's a very I feel like some people like love it, but then others hate it. Like some people say that, you know, Opera was his last greatest, like Argento's last greatest movie, while others say like Phenomena was his last greatest movie, or Two Evil Eyes. I guess not, no one really talked about Two Evil Eyes, but other some people like disagree and agree with like which is his like last great film. I mean, I personally have loved everything Argento besides that I've seen. Besides, I didn't really care for Argento's Dracula too much. I thought that was a little rough. But yeah, I need to revisit Opera. But let's see. I have no idea what version I got, but it's limited edition, Anchor Bay, only 3,000 copies. Were made for Opera, so no idea, but it looks cool on the shelf. Yeah, I mean, sometimes like unfortunately, it's just like that's the unfortunate part about buying stuff that you haven't seen. It's like sometimes it's like it's kind of a disappointment, which actually I'm going to get to in a couple stacks here, or a couple movies. I'm going to get to a film that was a little bit of a disappointment for me, but sometimes you end up with just a film that was like a little bit of a disappointment. Um, but you have to just, I don't know, put it up on a shelf if it looks cool, or you can always resell it and get something else. But on the 8th of the month, speaking of more Argento, I got this other Synapse Films. This is Tenebrae. Um, and I won't show the back because it's probably a little too, I guess, gory for YouTube's standards. But this is a another Argento film, and it is absolutely fantastic. I'll show the spine here, and I really, really enjoyed this one too. I feel like these Synapse 4K transfers of Argento films are truly just absolutely perfect. I would love to get. I need to get the Suspiria, which is the other Synapse 4K transfer of an Argento film. But yeah, I believe this is a 3 disc. It comes with let's see, the movie, a poster, and a booklet. Um, yeah, overall, really, really enjoyed this one. Probably not as much as I enjoyed Phenomena, but I mean, I liked this one too. Um, let's see. Yeah, so those are the 4Ks that I watched this last couple of weeks, because last week I did not do a live stream, so this is kind of like 2 weeks roughly worth of films that I watched. And then on the 9th of the month, I watched a movie called The Pool. This is a movie I've never seen before, didn't know really anything about it, and I bought it a few months ago. And yeah, I mean, it was okay. I feel like I had a little bit higher expectations for it. It was like just a bunch of teenagers go to the swimming, like kind of like a almost like a YMCA, like a public pool type of situation, like a community pool, um, and basically just get killed off by a killer. And yeah, it was fine. And I feel like it was just I feel like it would have been better if it was like a bigger group of people. It felt like too small, and a lot of the characters were very unlikable. So I really wasn't really rooting for anybody in the movie. But um, next up, I watched the movie. Let's see, I watched this on the 11th of the month. This is a movie that has been on my radar for a while that I just have never gotten around to. This is from 1979, and that is a film. This is a Criterion edition of the film All That Jazz. So I heard somebody talking about the ending to this movie, and I was very curious on it. So I decided to pop it in and check it out. And I absolutely loved this movie. I thought it was very, very well done. Kind of a depressing ending. I won't say anything, but it was a an interesting film, and it was even more interesting starting to watch some of the special features and kind of understanding the context of what this movie is, and kind of the director behind it and kind of like his life and stuff. And so I'm very curious because this director only made like 4 movies, I believe, and so I'm very curious to check out the other films that he's made. But yeah, All That Jazz was a pretty solid film. But this is the movie that I had probably higher expectations than I should have. And overall, I just really did not enjoy it. Um, I watched the movie Q the Winged Serpent on, let's see, this was on the 12th of the month. Um, and overall, it was very boring for me. Um, Let's see, the Critters movies, have you seen them all? Yes, yes, I have. I have a very nice, as you can kind of see it, maybe right here. I have this. I guess I can just grab it. I have the Critters collection box set, which has all 4 films in it from Scream Factory. Um, I remember liking these. I feel like they're kind of cheesy. And I feel like one of them have. Let's see. One of them have some big actor in it. Is it Critters 4? Um, yeah, one I forget which one, but um, they're kind of cheesy. I feel like if you don't take them too seriously, you can have fun with them. I kind of wish they were rated R instead of PG-13 because I feel like with PG-13 they were like not as like it could have been a little bit more gory or it could have like played that up a little bit. But I feel like they had to kind of shy away from a lot of that because it was PG-13. Overall, though, I thought it was a fun franchise. But yeah, Q the Winged Serpent. I just felt bored in this movie. I really just did not enjoy it as much as I was hoping to. And yeah, even though Larry Cohen, yeah, is the director, and I feel like I've heard good things about him as a director, and he's made some solid stuff. But I mean, I just for me, this one just did not connect with me. Maybe I need to rewatch it. Um, but for now, I'll probably just set it aside. Um, but then on the 13th of the month, I don't know what it was with this month, but I've just been watching a ton of horror films, and so um, the next one I watched, this is a movie that's been sitting on my shelf that I've just never gotten around to watching, but that was the movie The Boy. Um, this is one that I remember it coming out, and I really didn't really pay much attention to. I feel like I got to this what's it called, the Blu-ray really cheap, and so I just kind of like had it sitting on my shelf, and I'm like, I'll eventually get around to watching it, but I popped it in, and honestly, I was shocked by the ending. I was not expecting the ending that was here. Um, and yeah, it was kind of like there was a twist to it, which was kind of fun. I was expecting this to be more of like a child's play type of movie of like a haunt, or like an Annabelle or something with like a haunted doll, but I was pleasantly surprised by the ending. I do not have the boy. I know there's a boy too. I don't know if I'll ever check that out, but overall, I was actually pleasantly surprised with the boy. There's a few things in it that I felt like it just like I don't know. It felt very like I mean, again, it's PG-13. It just feels like a typical PG-13 rated horror film. But after that, let's see, I had a couple questions pop up. In the past week, I've seen two screenings of Sunset Boulevard, 1950, and I walked out of Twisters. Okay, so I have not seen Twisters yet, but I'll eventually get around to checking it out. But yeah, Sunset Boulevard is fantastic. Absolutely a great film that honestly probably should be in the Criterion Collection by now. Do you like AVP films, the Alien versus Predator movies? I love okay, like the first movie I absolutely love. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I know it's not necessarily a great film, but for me, it's just like I absolutely love it. I love the setting. I love the idea of it. It's definitely cheesy at times. But overall, I just really, really like it for some reason. I feel like it came out like right at the right time for me where I was not quite old enough to be like renting R-rated movies, but like I wanted to see like into the Alien universe. And so I got Alien versus Predator, which is like the PG-13 version of it. And it just it kind of exposed me, excuse me, exposed me to that whole like world which I mean I don't know, I really liked the movie, but I know the second one is pretty rough though. I will say that like overall it's such a dark movie, and not in the sense of like tone, but just like physically dark. Like it seems like they had like two lights on set, and so you can't see what's happening half the time. And most of it takes place during a blackout in the rain in the middle of the night, and it's so hard to see what is happening. I need to revisit it because it has been many years since I've seen it, but um, yeah, I've only watched it on DVD, so maybe the Blu-ray might be slightly better, but yeah, I feel like it missed on a lot of what the first one but did. But have you seen the movie The Babadook? Yes, yes, I have. I have it on. Yes, I have it on a DVD here. Um, this is from Scream Factory. I remember liking this. It's been many years again since I've seen this. This came out in 2014. And yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've seen this, but I remember enjoying it and enjoying the undertones of the film and stuff, and I thought it was very a fascinating film. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Hello. What is your favorite meta movie? Ooh, hmm, I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that. Um, but I'm gonna finish up the movies that I watched quickly. There's only four more that I have to talk about. But yeah, on the 13th of the month, I watched a film called Shredder, which is pretty much exactly what you would think. It's a bunch of teenagers on like a ski slope, and just there's a killer. That's it. I watched this because it was only an hour and 26 minutes, and I just wanted to watch something, short and just. I've had this on my shelf forever. Again, characters were so dislikable in this movie. Almost all of them. It was so they're so annoying, and they're just all making really dumb choices. But I mean, it was an interesting setup, and it's like kind of an interesting location. Just the execution of it was not the greatest. So I mean, I'll probably hold on to this. I don't even know where I got this from. I was like trying to remember like where did I buy this? Did I buy this in a lot or what? I genuinely have no idea where this came from, but it's been sitting on my shelf forever. So um, yeah, and that's a movie from 2003. So it screams early 2000s, but yeah, that's the film Shredder. But speaking of, not great films that I don't know why I keep watching all of these like just mediocre horror films. But this is like another one that's been sitting on my shelf, and I've just been, I popped this in. I don't know if you guys watch or follow my Instagram page. I posted a photo of I put in a new light over on the other side of the movie room finally. Um, And while I was doing that, I just kind of wanted to pop something on, just to have something kind of playing in the background. But I ended up sitting down and watching this whole movie, and that was the movie Day of the Dead: Bloodlines. And this is another one that's been sitting on my shelf for years, and I just keep putting off watching it. And this is a remake of George A. Romero's Day of the Dead. It just was not nearly as good, obviously, and yeah, I just feel like it was just okay. I feel like they're trying to make it more interesting by adding a few layers of things, and I don't know. It was okay. I mean, it's an okay zombie film. I feel like by what year was it, 2017, the whole zombie craze kind of was like dying out. Because there was a time where like zombie films were like the only thing coming out in the theater and stuff. So overall, I thought it was just okay. And then last night, I went to go see, if you follow me on Instagram as well, I went to go see Alien Romulus in theaters. And so, yeah, I actually really, really liked Alien Romulus, which apparently, after doing some research online, um, a lot of critics that I watch on YouTube really did not like it. And so, I mean, I'm curious if anyone on here, without spoiling anything for those who haven't seen it, did you guys like Alien Romulus if you've seen it? I really enjoyed it. I thought the sets were fantastic. I thought it was like an interesting story. The story made sense in the context of the world. There's a few things here and there that are a little bit fan servicey, but I was willing to look past that for practical sets, which is I feel like a rare thing to have in 2024. And so, yeah, overall, I really really enjoyed it. But let's see, I missed some comments too. Um, uh, let's see. Yep, Paranormal Activity scared me so much. Yeah, I feel like it's one of those movies that I feel like if you wear it with like headphones on at night with no one else in the room, just like, in the dark, I feel like Paranormal Activity could be an interesting film to watch like that. But I need to revisit the Paranormal series, but um, Day of the Dead is my go-to George Romero zombie flick. It is so good. Yes, it's been many years since I've seen. I say that about so many movies. It's been a long time since I've seen the original Day of the Dead. Um, I'd say my go-to George A. Romero zombie flicks would probably be I've seen Night of the Living Dead most, I would say, out of all of his, but I really, really like, Dawn of the Dead. I would love to get the Second Sight, I think it was Second Sight, put out, like, a nice 4K box. That's, like, one of my wish list box sets that I would love to grab, 'cause I feel like it just looks so good on a shelf. But yeah, George A. Romero is a fantastic, director. But the last film that I watched, so I watched Alien Romulus last night. It was a late night showing, and I was surprised. I was very shocked actually at the theater. There were a few people. There was like maybe 15 or so people there, um, and all of them during the entire movie, dead quiet, just nobody on their phones, as far as I could tell. Nobody talking or laughing at parts that they weren't supposed to be laughing at. No one was getting up and moving around. Like my experience with horror films in theaters has always just been bad, where people just get up and move around and make jokes, and it's always such a disappointment to go see a horror film in theaters. But this one, it just seemed everyone was there to actually watch the movie, which was very very fun. So I'd love to revisit Alien Romulus when it comes out on 4K. But the last movie that I watched, which actually just finished up today, again a horror film. I guess I've just been in a horror film mood, but that is the film Hatchet 3. So this is obviously the third film of the Hatchet series. Yeah, I like it's been a long time since I've seen Hatchet 1 a couple times. I've seen Hatchet 2 once, and then I've seen Hatchet 3 now once. Um, I remember like really enjoying the Hatchets or Hatchet 1 and 2. And Hatchet 3 kind of continues that where it's all three movies. take place basically over a weekend. And so they're all, back to back. And yeah, I really like these movies. I feel like they're a lot of fun. There's one more. There's a movie called Victor Crowley, which I have right here, which I still need to watch this one. And so this is from 2017. So I'll eventually get around to watching that one. But as far as Hatchet 3, I thought it was a fine kind of like ending to that trilogy. Um, yeah, overall, I thought it was fun. But yeah, that is everything that I watched this past week, or this last, I guess, 2 weeks. I am currently up to 251 movies so far this year, which is kind of insane. Again, one of my goals this year is to watch 365 films, and so yeah, I want to say I'm ahead of schedule. I could be wrong on that, but I need to see how many days into 2024 we are. But yeah, we'll grab a sip of coffee quickly. But yeah, have any of you guys seen Alien Romulus? I'm curious, without spoiling anything, what were your thoughts? Also, if no one in this live stream has seen it, that's also fine. Um, but I can appreciate New Nightmare, but I just don't like it. Really doesn't feel like a Freddy movie. Yes, let's see, New Nightmare, New Nightmare. I'm assuming you're talking about like the newest Nightmare or Wes Craven's New Nightmare, because there was. I'm assuming you're talking about Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Um, let's see. Yes, the Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It doesn't feel like a Freddy movie. I agree with you. I feel like it is a. It kind of just feels like a remake, or like not a remake, a I don't know how to describe it. It feels like almost too like meta when it comes to like what it's like trying to do commentary on and stuff. And it's an interesting concept, but I think the execution could have been like a little better. Um yeah, I like the idea of a new nightmare, I should say. I don't like the look of Freddy Krueger though. I feel like he looked, I don't know, too like fake or something. Um but no, only the first two Alien films. Yeah, I could see people's like perspective with with Ralph here with the first two Alien movies. I mean, the first two Alien and Aliens truly are like perfect films. They're masterpieces in my opinion. Especially that first movie. It is I'd say that first movie is probably in my top 10 favorite films of all time. I am also like a huge just fan of that whole series. I love Alien 3. I know people hate it, but I also really like Alien Resurrection. And I also understand why people hate that one. I also really liked Prometheus. I wasn't a huge fan of Alien Covenant, but yeah, I think it's more of just I like the idea of the Alien franchise and just that world. And like, I love the world building and the different ships and the aliens and like the different concepts of it. But yeah, I understand why people would just like not like all of the films. But yeah, I'm also just I don't know. I'm a fanboy of the whole series, so maybe that's why I liked Romulus so much. But let's see. Yes, Wes. Okay, yeah. So the Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Yeah, New Nightmare is conceptually very interesting, but it falls short in terms of scares. Yes, I agree. Um, let's see, and Alien versus Predator, which was pretty entertaining. Yeah, I think that's like if you go into the Alien versus Predator movies, I should say the first film, without any expectations of being scared, of just being like, hey, I'm just gonna go have a fun time of watching two of these big sci-fi horror characters just fight each other. I feel like you could have fun with it. I feel like it's a fun movie. It doesn't take itself too seriously, especially if you don't take it seriously. I feel like it's a great time. But um, yeah, yeah, excuse me. So what I wanted to let's see, how far am I? 30 minutes in. Okay, so um, one thing that I wanted to do in today's live stream that I've never done before. So whoever's watching this is getting to see let's see. Have you seen Longlegs yet? I have not. I really want to, but I've not got a chance to see it. But so whoever is watching this live, you guys get to see this for the first time. It's really not that exciting, I promise. But I'm going to talk about something I got in the mail, which is kind of a collection update thing, which I talk about. Like I have those videos on this channel, but I decided to do this slightly different. Um, and because I just got a package that I ordered months ago. And I'm excited to discuss it. So not anything crazy. It's only a couple items, but I figured I would do it in this video because or in this live stream because I might as well do something different. So um, let's see. The queen is an interesting character because she is represents the yeah, I feel like that is yeah, it's such an interesting like there's some I feel like there are layers to the Alien films and like there are like, there's like different like not metaphors, but um what is the word I'm looking for? Like not analogies. Um what's the word I'm looking for? Like there's like different there's more meaning to what you're seeing on screen, I guess. And so I feel like that's what I find fascinating about the Alien franchise is that there is like, you know, there's like commentary, that's the word. And there's commentary on like different aspects of like things within the Alien films. Whether that's just like the birth of an alien and like the whole like cycle and like um I, I don't know. It's a very fascinating franchise, and that's why I think I'm just like such a fan of that franchise. And I love everything Alien, so that's probably why I really enjoyed Romulus, is just because it's like more in that world. I feel like it's an interesting world to be a part of. But I want to see Longlegs so much. I want to see Longlegs so much. Yes, yes, I really want to eventually check it out as well. But so I got a package here from Severin Films. They ship these in these white boxes. So if you're not familiar with Severin Films, I talked about them briefly before, not briefly. I talked about them before on this channel, and I'm just gonna set this down there. And Severin Films is one of my favorite boutique Blu-ray labels. I feel like everything that they put out is like weird and interesting and mostly horror. And so, I mean, overall, I just besides Criterion, I would say Severin Films probably falls into that like second. I'd say Severin Films is probably my second favorite label out there. Um, and I would just love to collect everything that they've put out. But they recently, or not really recently, they did a halfway to Black Friday sale. Or a summer sale rather is what they called it. And they had Blu-rays as low as like 7 8 bucks, which unfortunately I was not able to order a ton from the sale. I only ordered 2 items. um, and I would have loved just to order a ton of stuff, but yeah. So I'm going to talk about the 2 items that I got from Severin. But first, I got this really nice sticker from Severin with my package, which is always fun. I absolutely love the red with the black logo. I think it's fantastic. Um, and so the first item is a movie that I missed out on. They did this about, I guess they released this a few, like I think it was last year. Um, and I guess they had a limited license for it because you could not order it off their website anymore. But I go back and forth if I like this slipcover more or the slipcover that came out with the original film. But I got the movie The Last Horror Film. I have no idea. I don't know anything about this except that I guess it was filmed during a film festival, or part of it was, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm very excited to check this out. This is a 4K of the movie, and it comes in this nice little like collector's edition, I guess not collector's edition, but this nice like slip box with the film and a booklet, which I've not opened up yet. But yeah, that was the film, The Last Horror Film, and I think this was also known as Maniac 2. in some places or something, because the other slipcover that came with it had a Maniac 2 slipcover. Um, and so, yeah, this was their, like, re-release or whatever, and so, I kinda like, though, like, the different colors. I feel like it's a very, like, vibrant looking case. So I'm very excited to, maybe I'll watch this tonight, but very excited to check that one out. Um, Let me get into some of these comments real quick. Have you seen the Friday the 13th or a Nightmare on Elm Street TV show from back in the day? I have not. I know what you're talking about. There was I think it's Friday the 13th lasted 3 seasons, and then there was the Nightmare on Elm Street, or what was it called? Um, what was it? I know it was like did not last very long. And unfortunately, it's never been put on DVD. I think there were some laser discs maybe and VHS tapes of the original show. But I would love to get a hold of those. And as far as like the Friday 13th show, I'd love to also get a hold of. I'm surprised that those have not been released yet on like a nicer format. But yeah, I would love to check those out. They look very fascinating. Um, let's see. Have you seen, let's see, an obscure horror movie from the early 90s called Demon Wind? I, That sounds so familiar. I don't think I've seen it. But it sounds familiar. I think I've heard of it before. Um, but Speaking of opera, from the beginning of the live stream, opera was mentioned. Um, so this is my DVD copy, my Anchor Bay DVD copy. This is a limited edition. I don't think this is um, the same limited edition that the person that was talking about opera had, because this one's limited to 30,000 copies. Um, and this is version 2.0. So on the back here it says version 2.0. I think um, there's probably a more limited edition, I'm assuming, if you're saying there's one that was limited to 3,000. But this is my opera DVD from Anchor Bay. Um, and so I got here from Severin Films. This was recently released. Um, this is the 4K of opera. Um, and the only reason why I mention which version did you watch or anything like that is this is apparently this is the ultimate cut of the film, according to Severin. Apparently, this has every different version of the movie, the correct aspect ratio, the correct coloring. The thing is, like, with the original, like these older DVDs, some scenes might have been cut, some scenes might have been altered to change slightly, but this apparently is the definitive version of the film. And so I am very curious. I need to revisit this, but I'm very curious to check this out and actually sit down and watch what is supposed to be the definitive version, see if I actually enjoy it or not. But yeah, I it has like the 4K and a the what's it called? There's like a booklet. Um, and yeah, it just absolutely, as far as a release goes, it is absolutely beautiful. Um, it's so, like, I don't know. I love the looks of these, like these thicker sets, because both the last horror film and opera, I mean, they just look fantastic on a shelf like that. Um, Opera will be going with my Dario Argento collection, or my the films of Dario Argento that I have. But um, let's see here. Is Night of the Demons any good? Yes, yes, I really actually enjoyed. Let's see, I have it right here. Um, Actually, it is maybe. Yes, Night of the Demons. I actually really enjoyed Night of the Demons. I thought it was actually a lot of fun. Um, it reminds me of just like, you know, people having fun with horror. Um, and I really enjoyed that. The sequels, I remember not being the greatest. I have Night of the Demons 2 and 3, but Night of the Demons 1, I thought it was a lot of fun. I would recommend checking it out. But I would say just go in with just like to have fun with the movie. But let's see, that's the same one. Mine doesn't say 3000, but it's still the same version 2.0. LOL, that's so weird. Okay, got you guys. Doesn't say for see. Mine does say okay, yours does sorry, I misread that. Mine or yours does say 3000, but it's still the same version. That is strange. Yeah, I don't know why mine says like 30,000. So this is apparently I don't even know why Anchor Bay sometimes they like number these because it's like, mine's 17326 of 30,000. I feel like 30,000 is so many that it's not even worth the numbering at that point. Um, but yeah, it's um let's see. Hello, welcome to the live stream. Hi Kyle, do you keep your Dario Argento films in your favorite director section? Yes. So I have a Dario Argento section within my directors section. Um, that I've been just basically buying up any Argento films. I'm only missing two of his films now. And I've seen everything besides these two films, and so I need to grab those. But yeah, he is in my. I need to do a video talking about all my directors that I have over there. Which my favorite director section, I feel like it's changed slightly from like my favorite directors just to directors I want to watch all of their movies. Um, but some of them are my favorites. Some are like not. I wouldn't call them like favorites, but they're like they've shifted to being like more of just interesting directors that I would love to like check out. Some of more of their stuff. But do you have any early Peter Jackson horror films? Yes, I have. Where is it? So this is my only copy of this movie, but Dead Alive. I only have this on VHS because the Blu-ray slash DVD are kind of expensive, especially the Blu-ray. But I have Dead Alive, and this is one that I've not seen, but I have the movie Bad Taste. So I need to check this one out still. But I think those are my only early Peter Jackson films that I have. Um, let's see. It seems to me, sorry, I was throat's getting dry. It seems to me, M. Night is a very overrated director. Are you a fan of his or of him? Um, I wouldn't call myself a fan of him. He's definitely not in my director section. I have a decent amount of his films. I feel like so with like because I know the movie Trap just is coming out or just came out or something, which is his latest film. But I still have yet to watch Split. It's been in my collection forever. I've yet to watch Old or yet to watch Knock at the Cabin, or even like Glass. Honestly, even Unbreakable. So apparently, I haven't seen a ton of his movies, but the ones that I have seen, like Sixth Sense or The Happening or um, oh, what is this other ones that he's done? I don't know. Um, The Village. I feel like a lot of his. So I feel like something with him is he kind of got the label of having the twist ending, and so like kind of became too like known for that. And so over the years, he's just like, okay, well, I have to put a twist ending to every single one of my movies. And I feel like if he just didn't do that, they would probably work out to be better films. Um, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of his. I just feel like his work is just very like, it kind of falls short for me overall. But I have a ton of his movies. I should probably watch some of them that I have just, sitting in my collection. Um, but yeah, is Dead Alive any good? From what I remember, yes. I really enjoyed it. The only complaint that I would have with it, I remember the coloring. I don't know if it's my particular VHS copy or not, but the coloring with the lawnmower, when he holds up the lawnmower and he like goes through stuff. Um, I won't say anything beyond that, but I remember that scene, the coloring just looked, like, really washed out. Again, it might have been my VHS copy, but, I was just kinda disappointed. I thought it was gonna be this spectacular scene, but because I know the movie was kinda building to it, and um, I don't know. Overall, I thought the movie was fun, but it wasn't like this, um, I don't know, this, like, great movie that I was expecting it to be. Um Favorite Adam Sandler movie? Ooh, um, so I really like Adam Sandler movies that he is not playing, like, for comedic purposes. Um, Favorite ones off the top of my head is Uncut Gems, The Wedding Singer. I really like The Wedding Singer, and I really like Click. I feel like there was actually there's a pretty good emotional ending to that movie, and some, like, decent messages about just, like, life in that movie, and shockingly for, like, a Adam Sandler, like, supposed to be, like, comedy film, um, I feel like there's some, like, interesting concepts within it, um, but overall, I'd say those 3 come to mind for my favorite Adam Sandler movies. I know there's, like he has, like, his classics like Happy Gilmore, Big, or, um not Big, Big Daddy, or, what's the other ones that he's done that, um I'm trying to see what I have here, or Billy Madison or anything like that. I mean, overall, I just feel like Adam Sandler is one of those guys who just, like he got so famous that, like, now he just uses movies to take like, these exotic vacations with his friends, and then, they film for a couple day like, a few hours a day, and then they get to, like, just hang out on some beach somewhere, which I guess, um oh, yeah, Punch Drunk Love too, yes. I need to rewatch Punch Drunk Love. It's been a while since I've, seen it, but, yeah, which I guess is, like, if he's able to do that, like, good for him, just, like, hang out on a beach, that's probably honestly sounds like the life. But overall, just not like my favorite actor of all time. Let's see. So I'm definitely going to keep this live stream shorter than last week. Last week it was like 2 hours, um, which is kind of fun. Last week, or not last week, it was the week before. But that was if you're were on that one, and you're on this one too. That was honestly such a fun time. I had a lot of fun with that one. But this week, unfortunately, I can't. I have some projects I'm working on that I will have to attend to after this. So I'll have to keep this one relatively short, especially compared to last week. But I figured I would keep this one maybe right an hour or so. Um, but yeah, I'm curious, what are some things that you guys are watching, or some things that you're excited about? I know there's a decent amount of films that are coming out, that I don't know. I feel like I'm behind when it comes to theater films. I saw there was in the Alien Romulus film, there was a trailer for Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis, which I am very excited for because I really like Francis Ford Coppola's stuff. I feel like his stuff is very fascinating to me, and so um, yeah, I'm excited to check that out whenever it does come out. But yeah, um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other little announcements. Um, yes, so I will probably end this here. Um, but unless if there's anything else that people wanted to discuss, I've already been talking for about 50 minutes now. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think. There's something else I was going to add, but um, see, with Alan Delon, Dillon, Dillon passing away or passing today, I watched the film Purple Noon, a great film. Also, the uh, Gene Rollins passing. I watched Women Under the Influence, great film too. I recently watched Women Under the Influence, which actually really enjoyed. Um, And oh yeah, Purple Noon. That kind of reminds me. I was going to discuss. I completely forgot about this too. I was going to discuss briefly the latest Criterion announcements. There were several films announced, um, but I remember the biggest ones. It was Purple Noon, Shape of Water, and what was it? There was one other one that was a pretty big one. Um, yep. Um, Maybe I'll just make this into a video. I might do that. I might talk about the Criterion announcements, because then I'll be able to put photos up and stuff too. So I guess stay tuned. That might be a video coming up here shortly in the next week or so. But um, yes, yeah, because there's a few things I have thoughts on the latest Criterion announcements. So I know that was about a week ago now that they announced that, but I'm a little far behind on making those videos. But if there was nothing else that you guys had, I will probably end this here. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you are watching this back on the like the replay thing, feel free just to leave any comments on things discussed. What are your thoughts on the movies that I watched? Slash, what are the thoughts, or what are your thoughts on these two films put out by Severin Films that I recently picked up? I'm very curious. I've never seen the last horror film, so maybe I'll have to watch that this week. But yes, thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there has a fantastic week. Go watch some great movies. And yeah, I guess if you are a fan of the Alien franchise, go check out Alien Romulus. I thought it was fun. So yes. But I will see you guys all next week. Hopefully, if I don't think I have anything going on. I might. I'm not sure yet. But I'll see you guys all next week. Thank you guys.